But you see, my mother said he always wanted a girl to be called Annie from and having Bob. He wanted a little girl, you see, so.
So he went in the war when he was about 23 or 24.
What?
He must have gone in the army when he was about 23 or 24.
Well, I mean, he must have been in. I was one. There was only one where he was killed, so how can I remember anything from being 1 year old? You know. Our Bob was 5, but he didn't remember me. Canning 14, where he was in before that, because the letters that he had asked is from long before I was born, hoping that this time they'd have a little girl.
Yeah.
So he must have been in. He mustn't have been very, really, must have.
And you don't know who he worked for?
No, I don't remember anything like that, you see. My mum never seemed to talk about it, you see. That's all I can remember. Because of his age, 21. He was called up, and he had his medical on his 21st birthday. And he said, when he went just before, they did what they call conscription. Most people don't remember that, well I do, because he was one. They conscripted all the youth that age, and he came in that age group, and he wasn't in a position, a firm that, you know what I mean, what did they call it? War work, a special, there was a name for it. Well, he wasn't, he was just clerking and whatnot, editors work, you see, so he was called up. In the June or July, he was 21, it must have been June, because his birthday was 22nd of June. And he said, oh, don't worry, he said, you know, be out for 6 months, you know. It was probably 6 months for training, 6 months militia. And of course, he mentioned, and he said they were shouting that day, Valerie, 21 today. I've been medical for the forces. September, of course, war broke out. So within 6 years and a half, 6 years after that. That's how he came to be.
So where was he working then when he went in?
He was working at Airlines.
So he had to go back to his job?
Yeah, start at the bottom. That's why them that were there, that Cliff Howard you heard me talking about, he was kept. Oh, that's what happened at where he worked, you see. They kept so many people back who were essential kind of thing, you know what I mean? Cliff Howard climbed up the tree by the time your dad come home. He was one of the top knots there, you know what I mean? And it was very unfair, you see, that your dad had got to start at the bottom and work his way up again. So that's the unfairness of life, you see, today. Cliff Howard really got on, became a director eventually, you see, he did. He was at top, and because he was older than your dad, it's older than your dad, he wasn't called up, you see, but your dad was. Start work at 7:30. It took me an hour to get to work. I was on the 6:30 bus or tram in the morning.
Oh, it wasn't nearby then?
Was it? Stratford Park.
So Balmers was nearby, was it?
Balmers was, yeah. Well,
What's it called, Balmers?
That was in Manchester, the city.
Balmers?
Balmers was.
B-O-L?
They were either German or something.
So where was Balmers?
Percy Balmers, that was in the town centre.
Oh, right.
It's not there anymore now.
Where was Metrovix then?
To go to Metrovix, after you go into the Manchester, cross through Manchester to Piccadilly, you know Piccadilly bus station. Get another bus there at Piccadilly to go to Trafford Park. And I shall leave home, be on the 6:30 bus or tram. 2 buses, and start work for 7:30. Eh?
Start working at 7:30, go.
Start your work at 7:30.
What was the
And
day?
your day was till 5. But Tuesday and Thursday you worked overtime till 7.
11 hour day, 11 and a half hours.
Yeah.
So what did you do? You stopped for lunch?
And if you were lucky, if you got £2 a week.
So you had dinner time then?
Yeah, I stayed and there was a canteen, and that's where you had this music while you worked. They had entertainment on
Same times
sometimes.
a week?
Concert parties, that's where half of these started from years ago.
So why did you move to Metrovix then?
Well, I had to do that to go in the forces.
Alright, so
Called up, you were on.
wasn't,
I was only 21, you see, 20.
Balmers wasn't war work then?
No, oh no. That wasn't more work, so yeah, I had to go in the forces, but I didn't want to
So
run
what
the
did they
forces.
do?
Or the land army.
So what did Balmers do then to keep running?
I can't remember what happened to them after. They went on for a lot of years. I don't know what they did after, because I wasn't
Well, they
interested.
wouldn't have had anyone to work then, would they?
Eh?
They wouldn't have had anyone to work then, would they?
No. But it was entirely different work doing transformers, but I got good at it, you see. As long as you could use 2 hands, you know. You picked them up like that, you know, that thing in the middle, you had to slot them all in, they had to be all perfectly, if they weren't all perfect, but everything
They
those
used to
days
search
had
you.
to have a transformer in it.
Listen to this. They used to search you.
Eh?
They used to search you when you went out.
Oh,
Search
yeah.
your bits.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Well, you pass, when you come in at work, there was a man on the gates, you see, check you in and check you out, you know what I mean? But, then they had this vision while you work your lunch, you're out at lunchtime. Well, think of what we done. One thing that I remember, chips, we got chips in this canteen. Yeah, you bought week's tickets, you know, for your lunch. One thing's just a pastry.
I've got a
with
movie
cheese
camera on this.
chips. That's food for you.
You do that.
And I put it.
Walk away.
Well, they always had these concerts, like, and we had some
Walk away.
good tunes on there, you know. Some of them, I suppose, became famous eventually. Right, that's
Yeah.
and then all along the
On the radio.
Eh?
On the radio.
No, they're real tunes.
Oh, you're right.
They were called Edson.
No, while you're working.
No, your lunch break, that hour. That hour.
I'll take this with me because
Sometimes it'd just be music, sometimes it'd be different things going on, you know.
that's it.
I thought, yeah, you're on. No, I won't.
They were all working for the, you know what I mean? People, you see, everybody joined together, you know.
Believe that.
Because many a time as well, when 1940 there was a blitz on Manchester, you'd be up all night in the shelters, still had to go to work next day.
So who was on the aircraft?
I'll be with you in apple blossom time. I'll be with you to change your name to mine. One day in May, I'll come and say, happy the bride the sun shines on today. What a wonderful wedding there will be. What a wonderful day for you and me. Church bells will chime. You will be mine in apple blossom time. I'm writing you, dear, just to tell you in September